I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
The podcast that finishes your workday in a very Red Raider way. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Well, domo arigato. It is Tech Talk here on Double T 97.3, DoubleTSportsNetwork.com, and the Double T 97.3 mobile app, brought to you by Happy State Bank. It is a Friday. It is a home game weekend for the Texas Tech Red Raiders as they welcome in Kent State on Saturday, and that means that we are live from the Overton. Very excited to be back here. We get 7 of these this year. We already had one last week, another one this week. Guess what? We get to start out with 3 straight, Gus. On Thursdays, we're at Twin Peaks. So if you're ever out at those places, come out and say hi. If you're out here at the Overton, certainly come enjoy the Pecan Grill. They do a fantastic job. The bar is awesome over there. Great service, great food items. Last week we had some brisket taquitos that were 10 out of 10.
That was good.
Clint Scott, Dr. Mike Gustafson. We have Kyler Brown back at home base. Long Jim Silvers, Jimmy Cook here helping out here at the Overton. Appreciate everyone who's pitching a helping hand today. And thank you for joining us here in Double T 97.3. You can join us throughout the program on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Thoughts, comments, questions, and as always, score predictions for the weekend. It is that time again. Gus, how's your Friday treating you?
It was good. That's the way we like our Fridays, right?
It was good.
Is good.
Is
yes.
good. Okay.
In progress. Yeah, it was.
I just assumed you came around the corner, saw me, and it just ruined it. And you're like, well, it was a good Friday.
Here we go. Yeah, it was good. It was right where you want it to be. Friday, not everything sort of on script. We got some Monday prep done. Mm-hmm. Nice.
And you know who should be on script tomorrow, as we've learned today, is Behren Morton expected to start. It's kind of what we thought, what we talked about yesterday. It seemed like that was the trajectory, and I'm of the opinion that if he's good enough to play, even against Kent State, you play him. Now, I don't think you're pushing much or anything like if there were any reservations at all, then they would hold him back. But if he can go, I think you want him to, just to get the part of the rhythm, and also still running Mac Leftwich's offense and just still getting him going throughout the season. Last week was a great start. 201 yards, 4 incompletions, and then 4 touchdowns, as many passing touchdowns as incompletions against Pine Bluff. So it all makes sense to me, and I think that's all good news as well, that you're not having to do the should we, shouldn't we kind of conversation.
Yeah, I think there whatever narrative you want is available for it. If he, there's a whole lot of play it safe opinions out there, and that's fine too. You and I talk about this in sports beyond football and in scenarios beyond the quarterback, but just the idea of, had a friend say shouldn't play again until Utah. We should be able to win these games with that. That's fine, but man, how do you stay sharp and stay in a rhythm and those things? They're men, not machines. But at the same time, hopefully we can come out buzzing, and he can get a few series, and you can get him out of there and keep him protected. And you know what? I'd love to see 4 different quarterbacks take snaps tomorrow. That would be good. And by the way, we got the news that last night that our number 3 has another year of eligibility.
Yeah, how about that? Which I think is good news, because you already brought him in as just an older voice. It seems like everything you've heard, rarely are you talking about your third string senior quarterback in the offseason, but he was a piece that was definitely needed as far as getting some more quarterback depth. We all know that that's important in the quarterback room, especially in the Big 12. but also is like, we hope to never really see you,
right?
But be a good, positive voice, show some of these young guys how to prepare, all of that stuff that, we talked about when he was originally signed. And if you're being honest, he was one of the least exciting parts of the transfer portal class, right? You had all these big pieces on defense, some exciting weapons, big offensive linemen, and it's like, and here's a guy that you're not ever really planning to play unless breaking the glass in case of emergency happens. But it was needed, and so to have another year with him is I think is a positive.
Yeah, they said he was laying concrete this time last year. Mm-hmm. He was, and the other thing that I think is tied to this conversation, that somebody asked Coach McGuire last night what his worst moment in coaching was, I think, something to that effect. And he talked about going to BYU and playing a true freshman quarterback, and kind of the way that season had started, and because he even said, that's why that game circled on my schedule this year.
That game, if you go back to that week, that was one of my least favorite football weeks of all time, because it felt like we all knew what was about to happen. Mm-hmm. No one was talking confidently about that game, and I understand when you're down to what you were down to at quarterback, and then BYU wasn't setting the league on fire, but their defense was good that year. You were going to their house with a very, very unproven quarterback, not a spot that you wanted to be in, and you were just feeling down on yourself, right? Because if I'm remembering right, that's coming off of the Kansas State loss, which was its own level of suckage. and then it played out exactly how we all kind of thought, and that BYU team, if you play that again, played it healthier, then I would have liked to have thought that would have went your way. But that's not how life works.
No, it's not. And I mean, there was a point at which they're down there 4th and goal from the 1, and true freshman quarter. I guess we can't blame it on him because you got a center involved there too. But they fumble a snap, on 4th and whatever from the inside the 5, and. I mean, just so there was just enough good things in there to go, hey, we're going to be okay, and just that thing just fell apart. But and that wasn't the best version of BYU in a way that you're like, that was a long shot anyway. No, that team was very beatable. But anyway,
several teams beat them that year to prove that point, guys.
Yes, the whole idea of this conversation is Griffiths was brought in to prevent that scenario right there.
Yeah.
If we have one quarterback go down and all of a sudden you're playing with a 2. What does 3 look like? It's because the number 3 pre-Griffiths was going to be someone who is on this campus for the first time this year.
And what's interesting? Like when you move forward next year, you would expect it's going to be Will Hammond takes over the show for Behren. And then my guess is Lloyd Jones would move into the 2 spot, and you're still keeping Griffiths at 3, but that's so far down the future.
Right.
We have so much football to play left, Gus, before we have to have those conversations.
Austin Phillips would like a word, too.
Sure. Holden.
I mean, Holden.
You went to his brother. Yeah, you went to Big Brother there. Plus another quarterback coming in next year. So
yep.
It is Tech Talk live from the Overton on Double T 97.3. Time for some headlines when we come back.
The podcast that finishes your workday in a very Red Raider way. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
It is Tech Talk live from the Overton here on Double T 97.3. Thank you for joining us. Clint Scott, Dr. Mike Gustafson, Kyler Brown. My bad, Kyler. Kyler Brown back at home base. My bad? I stopped myself.
Of all the people to get mixed up with, jeez.
Yeah, is that what you meant, Kyler?
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
I thought I was trying to read his mind.
Kyler does not want to be compared to anybody. That's the last person, really, is Brennan Riker.
Sure,
that's why we have to keep them separated.
Yeah, those two are rivals
all the time.
Dude. They're I mean, you can see that. They're that loggerheads. Those two are. Yeah, they're rivals.
Excuse me for a second. Water in the tea over here.
Yeah, they're rivals. You can tell those guys share a studio.
Huge rivals. Huge.
Bitter. Bitter.
Just had the glasses over here at the Pecan Grill are very fancy. They make me feel fancy, even though I'm just drinking water.
Hey, Clint, you know what the temperature is tomorrow morning when you're out there tailgating and acting a fool?
I don't. But
wait, that's me. Sorry.
If it's anything like today,
it's going to be even cooler, Clint.
Ooh,
I saw
beautiful.
a 5 in front of the number. I saw a 59 at like 7 o'clock on the hour-by-hour thing. Let's just round it off and say low 60s. Will be, I think, mid-60s at kickoff. We're all wearing white. I think we know that. But it feels like fall, which means next week for Oregon State it's going to be 98.
Yeah, we're going to get one last close to triple digits where
we
want the Beavers to feel tropical down here.
Yeah, that's right. and then we'll have like one home game in the next 5 weeks. So
yeah, how about that? It's gonna that gap between Oregon State and then Kansas coming to town. It isn't a month's time, but it's going to feel like a month's time after getting to start with 3
Yeah,
home
and part
games.
of that's an open week too. It's not all just road games, and then right behind K-State is a couple of road games, and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, it's going to feel like fall out there tomorrow. I'm excited about that. I am. I'm liking some dry and some cool. Be good.
And speaking of which, we got this on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. You can hit us up there with whatever you got, score predictions, reactions to the Cowboys game, anything like that we'll take there. Wonderful fall type of day to you, gents.
Yeah, yes. You got it. Hey, let me tell you, we're talking about the pecan grill, right? We're talking about the pecan grill. You know what's going on out on the patio, Clint? The cushions are being put out, but you know what else is happening over there? Got a little fire lapping in the fireplace. The scene is set.
It's almost hoodie season, Gus.
Yes, this is a I would say it's probably an underrated patio situation. Like, to me, this is one of the places that you go, like, I don't need to be staying in that hotel to want to include that in my list of possibilities, because this is a good hang right here. This patio's nice. It's a good setup.
And you can, take that in, Gus, at any time. But really,
that's what I'm saying. You don't have to,
tomorrow,
yes.
Double T 97.3 Coors Light post-game show.
Nice.
You'll even see a wild Chuck Hines like you could tonight if you come by. Yeah.
See him in his native habitat right there.
Him and Rob Bro. Yeah.
Carrying a packet of box scores and notes and handwritten stuff. And
this is on the Yates Flooring Center chat line from Old Razzle Dazzle. Good day, Clonk and Dr. Long Skid.
Yes.
Hope you guys are having as good of a day as Senior Bro. Yeah, one Rob Bro, after being bad at picking games, had to spin their show's tiny wheel.
Oh, is that right?
And today, I think it was the entire show, he had to just have wiped
cold
in
cream? Cold cream?
Sunscreen.
Oh,
Sunscreen.
okay.
Yeah, unrubbed in sunscreen.
So like the old kind where you just where you cake your nose in white.
I always thought
kinda...
that was one of those things I'd run into the wild. Now, granted, I'm not much of a beach goer, but even like going to the pool and stuff growing up, I always thought I would see that more, and I never did because it was such like a sitcom trope.
I think it's older. I think it's an older thing. I assume the sunscreen technology with the whole SPF and all that stuff has improved over the years. Back in the day, I think that was just like a chemical just sleeve over your nose. You might as well just cut out a piece of fabric and tape it to your nose, or cake it in white. But that's what Bro looks like there.
This porcelain prince to your left over here is very glad that they have upgraded their sunscreen technology.
Yeah,
because I use it.
SPF 75, right, Clint?
SPF 150.
Why don't you just wear a shirt? Just put on a shirt.
Oh, I do. I'm all in on the long sleeve.
Got it.
Low moisture wicking shirt technology.
There may be a long sleeve white T-shirt in my repertoire tomorrow, in my game tomorrow.
Yeah,
with a light long sleeve.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
This on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. That was a normal game for CeeDee Lamb. He has had a for as highly paid as he is, and I think he deserves it. I'm not trying to say he shouldn't be a highly paid receiver. You could say how the contracts were handled and the timing of it and stuff like that. Jerry Jones didn't help himself, but there's nothing new with that. But for someone as high profile of a weapon as he is, he does have a case of the dropsies. Tends to, in times where you really don't need him to.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. It's tough when you think about it as one of the highest paid dudes in the game. Now, he's obviously as dynamic as it gets once the ball's in his hands, but still, boy, great players have a sense of timing, and great teams have a sense of timing. And the drops late when the game's hanging in the balance were just gut-wrenching.
Even, and maybe, I mean, feel free to disagree with me because we already talked about it.
I will. Don't worry, pal.
Okay. Thanks. He had, like we said, some big drops down the stretch of that game.
Yep.
Then you go like to that 4th and 3, 4th and 4, whatever it was in the final possession, and that's a tough catch. Right. He has. It's not a full
the one where he's laying out.
But he's got to dive. But that's
right.
Still a decent spot for Dak
Catch
to put
you want him to
make.
make.
That's one that you want your superstar to make. That's not one if you're your old. You want your superstar to make that, and it wouldn't be something I'd point out whenever you had, 3 others, especially one where. I don't know how the one that smokes him in the face mask didn't wind up as an interception and harmlessly falls in between 3 Eagles in the secondary. Like when you add it into that, that's where it's just like, man, that was a really rough game for him. Because for Dak, he wasn't perfect by any means, but he's played well against the Eagles. What, it was like 9-4, something like that, going into that game last night. Every roster every year is a little bit different, but for someone who catches a lot of flack when you go to compared to what he's making money-wise, last night he played well enough for them to win that game.
It feels like an opportunity missed, that game, because you're at Philly, tough division game, et cetera, et cetera. Like, man, winning that game was right there.
Had a really tough fumble in that game, too. Yeah. Rough one to start, but still, I would say, a decent showing in Philadelphia.
Yep.
Kyler's keeping hope alive. When we come back, we'll go to the binder. We'll go back in time. It's Tech Talk on Double T 97.3.
A podcast put together with Red Raider fans in mind. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3. Presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
It is Tech Talk live from the Overton here on Double T 97.3. Thanks for joining us. We'll go up to 6 o'clock. If you're out at the Overton, come check out the patio. It's going to be, some nice fall weather coming up. No better time to go take in the fireplace out there, sit on the patio, all the tables, enjoy the bar here, enjoy the pecan grill. Today we have sampled the chips and salsa, and I got to say, just the right amount of spice there in the salsa. It's very, very tasty.
Yeah, and that's from a guy from Southwest Kansas. I will also give it credibility by saying
what's that supposed to mean? Hey, my mom is from Texas, so I was raised right as far as the salsa expectations, okay? Does that help?
Oh, yeah.
I had actual sweet tea in the house. You couldn't find it in a restaurant where I was from in Kansas, but we had it in the house.
Okay.
This on the 8th Flooring Center chat line. You can hit us up there as well. Tech scores 70-plus points and 5 sacks tomorrow. Big book it.
Is this our shutout that I've been longing for?
I thought we were going to have it last week. I jokingly texted you an angry text when they allowed that touchdown with the third stringers, and that was a really long drive for Pine Bluff.
Oh, like 5.5 minutes. And
it was like doubled their yardage.
Clint's over there throwing his headset.
To be honest, by that point, after the weather delay, I was feeling a little loopy up in the booth.
Yeah. And that's why
8 bomb pops deep will get you there.
Sure, and that's why because we all were. Now, it was also the perfect time to hand that game over to the young dudes and say, this is your game.
Yeah.
Because, you're at a point where that's like, we don't need to put some starter back out there, up 47 points, messing around after an hour-long delay and this and that. But you can put a young guy out there, and that young guy's going to be hungry. You would think that young guy's going to go, man, I'm finally getting to play. Here we go. I'm in. Whereas the starter may be guarding himself and this and that. And, as that game stretched out a little bit, it was good to see those dudes, getting after it. But and to not have to worry about starters on the field. And hopefully we take care of business tomorrow. But, we talked about this last week. The beauty of a shutout, all right, you can put the backups in and they can keep scoring or not, and you sort of lose track of it because you're up, dozens of points, right? But the shutout, you got to earn that all the way to the last play of the game.
Well, it's just hard, even like avoiding a fluke, what I would label as like a fluke play, because you can be dominating all game, and I guess the other side, they still have to make a play. But if you miss a tackle and you're in like an ISO coverage or something, and it's been working all game long, and one winds up as, like, in my mind, whatever, doesn't go your way, and then they get that one score, like, to keep that off the board an entire game against any opponent is really tough. But what I'm excited about is I really do believe you have the defense to do that, and not just against Pine Bluff or not just against Kent State, but I think, and maybe more in line of going away from the shutout, but holding a couple of Big 12 opponents to single digits this year. I really do think you have the talent on the field to be able to do that. And yes, Pine Bluff is bad, right? That's a bad FCS team. Kent State's coming in as a bad FBS team. I'm expecting to see, much like the texter said, more of the same as far as how you control this game, or at least it should look like that, offensively and defensively. But I'm excited to see, what are you going to do defensively in week 3, where you're going to step up a little bit, or quite a bit, with Oregon State, although I think Oregon State, we'll see what they look like this week. But they had their own issues offensively against Cal, but still, what can you make that kind of fringe power conference program look like?
Sure. And then ultimately this team, especially with the aspirations that this team has and that we all have for this team, our expectations are very high, and ultimately they're going to be defined by what did you do in Utah, what are you going to do in Tempe, those type opponents. And when we think about this, all of it is leading up to, can this team go get a stop with the, we're up 4 points, in the last 3 minutes, and Utah's got the ball, and here we go, come back from commercial, and now what? Are we going to go get sacks and put them behind the sticks? Are we on our heels? What's this thing going to look like?
Well, and this, I think the same question can be asked offensively, and this is something that I thought, Mac Leftwich in his press conference going into the Pine Bluff game was kind of your last time to talk and, set standards or answer questions in whatever expectation type of questions get asked to you, your last chance for that. Something that he had said was, hey, last year's offense, and again, I'm flipping the side of the ball what you're just talking about, but I think it applies on both sides. Last year's offense was good. I mean, the numbers can't deny that you were a good offense, but situationally, time to time, you tended to not make the big plays and the plays that you needed to, and that was some of the difference too, not just of how bad your defense was, but that was a difference too of a couple more wins and winding up in Arlington last year. And that's something that you want to see take a step forward from the offensive side. So that's just for you last year, all gelled together. That is something else that I'm asking. Like, when you're getting into those one possession types of games, the ones that are going to decide, you would think, if you don't go to Arlington this year, well, can the offense make some of those plays too?
Sure.
And can you be kind of a perfect marriage on both sides, where the defense has taken these drastic strides, but also the offense has gotten a little bit better in areas that they needed to as well?
Yeah, it would sure feel like that offensive line has improved, and that will hopefully lead to a fruitful running game and just more time for the quarterback and this and that. And you know what? If Behren Morton's under center tomorrow, as it sounds like he's going to be, then hey, let's make sure that guy doesn't get let's make sure he's untouched back there. All right, this is a good week to make sure he's untouched.
This is a really good week to make sure he's How many times do you think they watched that one chip play just to make sure we're all the same?
Well, don't you know that, I mean,
the same page.
There's not going to be a ton of film on this Texas Tech team after these first 2 games,
Sure.
I'm guessing. But there may be some opportunities in which they try to put blitz read pressure on our running backs.
It is Tech Talk on Double T 97.3, live from the Overton. Kyler's play of the day when we come back.
It's every Red Raiders' favorite podcast. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
That's like you talking about the fall, Gus. You can feel it in the air.
Mm-hmm.
It is Tech Talk live from the Overton here on Double T 97.3. Thanks for making us a part of your Friday. The weekend was almost here. If you're 9 to 5, it's almost here. If you're 8 to 4, then hey, it's here. Congratulations. If you're keep going. If you're 10 to 6, you still got a little bit. That's where we'll go. We'll go all the way up to 6 o'clock here live from the Overton. Make sure to come out here and come sample the Pecan Grill's menu. Last week, we talked about the taquitos that we had. We also had, was it some pineapple chicken over some rice? That was really, really good. They also have, if you go and look up the menu, like the heaviest breather of us did earlier online, you got some hearty breakfast stuff, which is right up my alley, guys.
Nice. There we go.
Yeah. Had a waffle that looked amazing.
Don't don't underestimate this place. It's a really nice food and bar setup. Good hang.
Waffle, pancake, or French toast for Gus? Can't really go wrong.
No,
I don't hate either one.
I'd probably go French toast. I mean, if we're just not
start bench cut. Those three.
Now, that's right. If we're not in a calorie cutting mode or anything like that, I'd probably go French toast, waffle, pancake.
Oh, cutting the pancake, huh?
Yeah. I mean, of the three,
I think I would. I think I'd start the pancake, bench the French toast, and then sadly cut the waffle.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd cry as I did it.
You gotta take that. Hey, what was it? And Chuck, you talked about this morning. There's a kid from Estacado. They call him IHOP because they took him to IHOP and he ate 26 pancakes. Am I right about that? Yeah. 20. How about that?
26
That's
pancakes.
the best nickname ever.
Yeah.
Right there. That is way up there. Especially for a single incident like that. Like Puddin's got that. I mean, well, I'm just saying, in all seriousness, it's like from one little moment springs this nickname. Yeah. And it's not insulting or whatever. It's just kind of a fun little nickname. You know,
if you're going to do something memorable, then
right.
We're going to remember it, right? That's
it's
the whole
nothing
point.
that the kid's like, oh, you know, that's such an embarrassment. My parents, you know.
That's why they call you Long Skid. If you're going to do something memorable, we're going to remember it, right?
That's right. The American League MVP this year has a nickname, the Big Dumper. It's because he has a big old rear end. Yeah.
He quite literally has a big dumper.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just.
Where is
they
this
even
going?
interviewed his mom about her.
Don't worry about it, Kyler.
We're talking nicknames right here.
I'll tell you where it's going.
You know what?
It's going into a play of the day. That's where it's going, Kyler. Is that what you wanted?
Text us with your favorite nickname. Like a good nickname, like something that's attached to something.
If you want to give us a nickname, you can do so.
I think somebody already has, right? A couple of them.
Kyler, it is time of the day. Take it away, sir.
And it'll be play action by Hammond throwing to the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown, Red Raiders.
Oh, it's Leyton Stone.
Stone that gets the catch and the touchdown. His second grab as a Red Raider is a score.
Former Frenship Tiger Leyton Stone grabbed his first touchdown as a Red Raider last week against Arkansas Pine Bluff, as the Red Raiders took care of business and he was able to get some in playing time. Go Red Raiders.
That reminded me. I had this question for you. Just not maybe not schematic wise or anything, because if we're being honest, we just want a rinse and repeat for the most part week, right? Mm-hmm. But is there anything that you want to see, like as far as fun stuff? Like I'll tell you one for me as an example. Like
I think my fun one would be Phillips getting under center, getting a series. There's my answer. I don't know if I'm reading your question.
No, yeah,
right.
Sure.
I would love to see that because that means the game is in at hand, and I think the staff would be willing to do that for this kid because in many ways he was a very, very important part of the spring because they were short on quarterbacks.
You would think that if that's going to happen, because rarely are programs, even against FCS schools where they're blowing them out, or in this case an FBS program who's trying to pull some things together.
And think past the first two games. It would be great. It'd be great if we play so many games that we got to be careful with how many times we put Phillips out there to get a series. But just it would be cool for it. You know, it'd be really cool too. There's probably a lot of people enjoy seeing Phillips to Stone one more time.
Can I
Phillips
lay
to Stone for a touchdown would be even better, right?
Can I lay out my dream Saturday for you with the quarterbacks? Because that would be cool. But I want to see so much Will Hammond get, game reps while also. So you have Behren Morton reported that he will indeed go tomorrow, which is good news. And I think it's important, and I think if he can go, he should go. I think you should get those reps. In a perfect quarterback game to me, it's get Behren a full half this time, if that is if that was 75% of the second half, get Griffiths a drive, and get a four-string quarterback too, and get some friendship action.
Beautiful. Yep,
that sounds good.
Great.
I do like that kind of nod to Phillips, and he's working hard over there, and like you said, was a big part of the spring, and I just don't see that happening in any other game where even if you do put up put in the backups and Morton is there all season, that it's not Hammond finishing out the game or whatever.
Let's think about Lubbock quarterbacks to play at Tech. Obviously, we've got Daggy. Is that the most recent one, Clint? Daggy.
Well, you had a certain quarterback who played at Frenship and was over here and a part of a quarterback battle and helped you win a big game overtime against Houston. And
that's right, Donovan Dub. Look, I'm
trying to lead you into it.
Too far back. I mean, like way back in the 80s, yeah. Brian Brock was a holder. He did a lot. He was kind of a third-string guy, but was special teams guy. I think he was the holder for a couple years, whatever. Ron Reeves is a big one. Texas Tech Athletic Hall of Fame. You're probably forgetting one. The one who started the longest. Well, Ron Reeves probably started the most games, but right there with him, old Zebby Lethridge.
Someone on the chat line just put in Zebby.
Yeah,
on the chat line.
Yep, he started for 3-4 years. It's a good one. If we're not thinking of somebody, send it. James Ellis in the early 60s.
That sounds
You're probably thinking James Ellis in 62.
Yeah,
somewhere right in there. That was James Ellis and old Monterey.
Send it is what I usually say when I get on a Razor scooter.
Send it in, Jerome.
Oh, that one too.
And then you break the backboard.
No, mine is I do on sweet 3-inch ramps to get some serious hang time.
Nice.
Send it. We'll send it to 4:30 when we come back. It's Tech Talk on Double T 97.3 live from the Overton.
It's every Red Raiders' favorite podcast. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
You hear they've upgraded, Gus. I hear there's actually 2 people in Mullinville that have internet. So half the fights, but they're still happening.
Well, it's been a big effort to get the rural areas high-speed internet.
They flew in and dropped it in a box.
Just
dropped it.
They dropped some AOL CDs. Nice.
Oh man, they're really enjoying Queen right now. They just got it. They're like, this stuff is good.
That's why when we played the modem sound about 3 weeks ago, remember when AOL announced that they were discontinuing dial-up service like 3 weeks ago?
And I was like, I thought this was already.
Yeah, we all thought it had been done a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yet you were in tears.
I was crying.
Right.
That was advanced technology for where I'm from.
But it was for all of us, actually. They would mail those CDs out like credit card applications.
Hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. You do have Tech Talk live from the Overton here in Double T 97.3. Gus, another interesting weekend. There's a few interesting anyways. Games in the Big 12. A couple of rivalries. I guess a couple that could be blowouts depending on the way that you look. I'm going to just throw out some of these games. I'm going to start with 2. You tell me which one you'd rather watch. We're going to go through and see which one you're the most interested in, other than the game against Texas Tech. All right, so first, this is one of those that I think could be a blowout, and the line kind of points to that way. BYU, a 20.5-point favorite, hosting Stanford. Let's go BYU hosting Stanford or Kansas State hosting Army. Which one are you more interested in?
Oh, man. I don't know. Maybe I don't think I would assume BYU is going to handle that game. So I might be more interested in just as it relates to Texas Tech, that Army K-State situation.
Kansas State is a closer line, and that's an Army team that was just upset by Tarleton State. Kansas State 17, and I mean, still a big line, 17.5-point favorites. But the way the Cats have been playing too has added. I'm with you. Okay, that matchup or Mississippi State hosting Arizona State.
Yeah, that's the answer right there. There's the most interesting.
All right, so that game's going to go up against, how about Oregon, which has gone down, 27.5-point favorite. Oregon hosting Oklahoma State. Sticking with the yeah, I should have started with that one. How about that game or SMU hosting Baylor?
Yeah, there's the correct answer. That has some intrigue associated with it. All and
right.
We don't really think about it this way, but I mean, because when we think about that, it's the SMU TCU thing. That's sort of the border war, neighboring deal. But this SMU to Waco, this SMU to Baylor situation, what, an hour and a half down the road. So,
and I'll tell you what, if SMU
probably recruit a lot of the same players, et cetera.
Yeah, if they run it down Baylor's throats in a similar fashion to what Auburn just did, I mean, the concerns skyrocket. Because if you're Baylor, you have a chance to take down an SMU team that's also probably going to run, have a run-heavy offense, right? And last week, immediately you go, okay, well, this went from a Big 12 favorite to they better not be a Big 12 favorite, or your conference is not going to be very well respected. And you have a chance for Baylor to bounce back this week and go, okay, maybe that was just a one-off. It was a bad game. It's one that they certainly want to forget, but
I believe,
maybe you get rid of some of that narrative that's already there around Baylor.
Yeah, and my understanding is that Baylor is down a defensive tackle from last week. Mm-hmm. So that's probably not ideal. I don't know the nature of it, if it's done for the season or just out for the game. I don't know, but he's that's not good coming off of a weekend in which it was kind of handed to you.
All right, so you're there with I'm right there with you. I think I've made all the same choices you've done so far. SMU hosting Baylor, or how about the border war? Reborn Missouri hosting Kansas.
I think both of those are good games. Hey, give me the game time on the SMU Baylor.
That's an 11 a.m. kick.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's the one that's opposite of us. Mm-hmm. We'll get home in time to catch a good portion of
2:30 for
Kansas, Missouri. Yeah.
So which one are you taking between those two, as far as interest level?
I mean, I can tell you I'm going to see more of the latter one.
Sure. Sure.
I don't know.
But just
there may be a little more reputation at stake. I don't know. That Clint, that would truly be score driven. You get on into it, but I'll take the Baylor SMU game, I guess, since it's involving two Texas schools.
Yeah.
But
this is cheating. Really, you know which one I'm taking.
I know,
but
I'm really interested in. I mean, because they're both opportunities for the league's reputation.
Mm-hmm. I also think they'll both be close games.
Traditional Big 12 ACC game, Baylor SMU. That's how we think of this, right?
All right, so you're staying with SMU Baylor.
Showing you my age when I go, that's it. SWC game.
Let me throw one more to you.
Kansas and Missouri, Big 8 game. Go ahead.
Perfect. How about the Cy-Hawk Trophy? Does that knock off SMU Baylor though?
Probably not. It's also the other 11 a.m. game, unfortunately, because I like to. For whatever reason, I'm intrigued by that. I think I know the answer too. I read this today. I believe 11 of the last 13 times these two teams have played, it's been a one-score game. Mm-hmm. And the last 5 games have gone to the road team.
Last year it was very entertaining, game-winning field goal, right, for Iowa State. I think that this is one of those you have to have if you're a Big 12.
Right.
Again, if you don't want to put on the Big 12 hat, that's fine. I think it's smart to. And you need the Big 12 to perform well in these non-conference games as far as playoff respect goes. And
it would create a nice buffer, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
otherwise we just go 13-0.
Well, especially because you made a big deal in the offseason. Big 12 coaches did.
Sure.
Your commissioner did. You said we need to let these games on the field be a big factor, but if they don't go your way, then they can just throw that back in your face, right?
Sure.
And Iowa State, that is a top 25 team. They're at home. They're the favorite. I think Iowa is going to be middle of the pack in the Big Ten.
Right.
That's one where I think, that's one of the have-to-haves.
Yeah, and Iowa State
in the non-conference
nice job getting the win in Dublin. So Well,
that's the other thing. I think people kind of view Iowa State as far as a national view that they are, I think in most people's opinion, top 3 right now. Certainly favorites to make it to Arlington, and they were there last year. So.
Yeah. Hey, and the skids are kind of greased for them to do well this year, getting that K-State win because their schedule's kind of soft. But again, you also say this could be a team playing in Arlington with a loss over the Big Ten team that they played.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? We don't want that.
Just like if a Baylor makes it and Auburn finishes in the bottom 5 of the SEC, they go, well, there you go. It's Tech Talk. Ask Tech Talk coming up next. You got us on Double T 97.3. We are live from the Overton.
This has been the Tech Talk Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.